The German military is planning and drilling for a breakup of the European Union in 2040. They don't want to panic people. How about 5 years from now? The European Union, as we know it, will be gone by 2022. Before the clock strikes December 31st, 2022, mark my words, the European Union will be completely dissolved. If it wasn't so dangerous, it'd be comical to watch CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS constantly caught in fake news, constantly caught doing dirty tricks against America, against Christians, against gun owners, and nastily stirring up racial and cultural divides to play us off against each other. It's just so nasty. It's so villainous. It's so scumbaggery. It's so low. But the good news is people more and more are watching it. They're aware of it. They're sick of it. And they're breaking with it. And I've got stacks of news here today from Africa to Asia to Latin America, South America, North America, the UK, where the global order of the United Nations EU program of unelected planetary government is collapsing. Now that it's out in the open, now that people know it's authoritarian, now that people know its aims, it is dead on arrival. Just as I envisioned it would be, knowing that something that's authoritarian, if we just exposed it, once it finally had to emerge in the final takeover phase, people would be ready to reject it. Even though we'd be demonized in the process before it was admitted, by exposing it, we would be absolutely the definition of credibility once it was admitted. I mean, for me, that was just a common sense situation. But even if the general public still didn't wake up, enough thinking intellectual individuals would understand we were facing organized authoritarian criminal technocracy and resist it. And the resistance has just begun. But I tell you, the Deus Ex, right out of nowhere, Donald Trump completely hiding who he was, not in a deceptive way, being anti-NAFTA, anti-GATT, anti-globalist, but in his public persona, just being the hotel and casino and golf course owner, and then sucker punching the globalists so hard. I'm going to do a whole report on his dad and his older brother and the intel that I've gotten that I was able to then confirm in news articles from 40, 50 years ago. I've gone into the LexisNexis, the Thomson Reuters systems, and found it all here and there, but it's all true. Donald Trump's dad was giving to the John Birch Society and John Welch when it first was founded. I mean, we have a secret Ron Paul, basically, as the president, with all the stamina and with the gravitas and with the charisma that Ron Paul didn't have and that Barry Goldwater didn't have and that, quite frankly, Ronald Reagan didn't have. I mean, Trump has already eclipsed Reagan in what he's done in 10 months. But again, everything is timing. Reagan was not born into a time where the stakes were so high. Reagan was not president when the stakes were this high. They were serious. The globals were trying to bankrupt us and take control of us. But man, when Trump came in, right as the global wave was cresting against globalism, it's biblical. It's providence. And when Ronald Reagan met Trump at a White House dinner, one time he said, I felt like I was shaking the hand of the president. There's that photo of them meeting. Let's pull up Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. There's just destiny, ladies and gentlemen. There's destiny written all over this. And everything you've done and I've done and Drudge has done and all of us together building towards the awakening, it's just over the top. And Trump is just delivering. And more, they can't hold it back, and they're panicking, and they're turning on each other, and the globalists are running scared at the DNC. The German military is planning and drilling for a breakup of the European Union in 2040. They don't want to panic people. How about 5 years from now? The European Union, as we know it, will be gone by 2022. Before the clock strikes December 31st, 2022, mark my words, the European Union will be completely dissolved. I'll be surprised if it lasts to 2020. You heard it here again, ladies and gentlemen. Deep analysis, deep historical research, deep focus, deep commitment. And I'm telling you right now, for all intents and purposes, within 2.5 years, it's going to be ceremonial, and they're going to prop it up just so the institutions can keep robbing and looting, and it will be gone in 5 years. 5 years from now, the European Union will be gone. And it's been politically even more fast-growing and cancerous and more successful than the Soviet Union, because it was able to come in through UNESCO, that Trump just pulled out of, and control our policies. UNESCO runs the State Department immigrant program. The UN decides who comes in. And Trump's like, 7 countries don't even have real passports, and the UN says we're bringing people in from Somalia and Sudan and Libya. How about double hockey sticks? No. H-E double hockey sticks. London Telegraph, German army plans for breakup of the European Union. Analysis, house tax would create nearly 1 million new jobs and increase GDP by 3.9%. That means we'd be 7.1%. And they said we'd never even hit 3. It's 3.1. Eat it, globalist. Eat it. And it doesn't mean we're out of the woods, but you know what? They want to fight. They're about to get one, because this is just the start. And I could smell blood, can't you? That coppery smell in the air. I smell globalist blood. I smell cornered rats. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of globalist scum. And be they alive or be they dead, I'll grind their bones to make my bread. I love the fighting spirit. I can feel it rising. Oh, House Freedom Caucus backs bill to end the diversity lottery that brought in the guy that ran over and killed a bunch of people in New York last week and injured more, killed 8 people. Really, he brought over 28 of his friends and family and relatives, and it turns out almost none of them had jobs. Of course. Bring it. Look. Let the jihadis stay in Uzbekistan and Afghanistan and kill each other. And keep women as slaves and have boy sex slaves. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to go to break, and I'm going to come back. Indonesia, which is mainly Muslim, in a bid to root out Islamists, throws spotlight on universities. Yeah, the Muslims are fighting the radical Muslims everywhere. And then, of course, we knew it was coming. When we come back, the Texas scumbag shooter was a crypto-Satanist. That's what a lot of atheists are. And I'm not saying all atheists are Satanists. A lot of nice people are atheists. A lot of intellectuals. A lot of folks that don't like corrupt churches and fake religion. But there are a lot of crypto-Satanists that kind of push their anti-Christian agenda through being atheists. And it turns out atheist, occult, liked to beat up kids, and was a pedophile. It's confirmed. That's right, was a pedophile. The only girls he could pick up were 12, 13 years old when he was a grown man, an arrested development thug, creepy piece of garbage that hated Christians. and wanted to strike, just like Rand Paul got attacked, just like all these other attacks. This guy that tried to attack the White House last night came to kill the whites for November 4th.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying.
Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.